Disclaimer, everything in the following video is my personal opinion. You might not agree, and that's totally fine, but don't be an asshat. Keep it respectful. And enjoy the show. Hey everybody, it's Edie, and today I'm talking about a touchy subject. So, I am on the search for a new book. I'm looking for a book that is going to be enriching and something that's going to make me think. And I want to have it for in the morning whenever I eat my breakfast and just have a few moments with, before I get my day started, with no screen time, just some enriching, enlightening reading material. So that's the kind of book that I'm on the search for. And I want something to be, divine, feminine centered, or goddess centric, or self-improvement, maybe. No, not self-improvement. No, fuck all that. But self-love and self-acceptance, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of book that I'm looking for. Excuse me. So I went on Amazon and I downloaded a list of books. I downloaded the samples so that I could read a little bit of the book because I want to narrow it down and pick a book for my mornings. And I've got it narrowed down to a few, and I think what I'm going to do is post in Edie's Cosmic Gathering Place, my Facebook group, and see if anybody else wants to read along once I pick the book that I'm going to read. So if you're interested in doing that, leave a comment down below. And also make sure you're part of that Facebook group so that when the post comes up, you'll be able to see it and chime in and let me know if you want to join me. So it's not going to be like a reading club. It's just going to be read whatever pages you want, whenever you want, and then share your thoughts, feelings, insights, whatever, that kind of thing. So in the search for my morning book, I downloaded a bunch of samples. And I only downloaded things that seem to be goddess-centric or pagan bent, feminine spirituality, that kind of thing. So I was really shocked whenever one of the books that I downloaded seemed to be very, very Christian-based. And so whenever I downloaded the sample of this book, thinking it was goddess-centric and divine feminine spiritual based, the book was it actually pissed me off a little bit, to be honest. And so it pissed me off so much that I had the sample downloaded and I read through the sample and I got through about a page and a half of it, and it had already said 5 or 6 things that I was like, yeah, no, don't agree with that. Nope, don't like that. Oh, yeah, lost me. It was like on page 4 or 5 that I was done. And I immediately deleted the book. And now I can't find it. I don't remember the name of it. I obviously deleted the sample, so it's not in my Kindle app anymore. And I went on Amazon thinking, oh, well, it'll still be in my browsing history. It's not there. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it was. And I wish I could reference the damn book. Oh, because this whole tangent, because today's video is a tangent really, this whole tangent spurs from this book. And I cannot think of the name of it. So forgive me, but I can't tell you what book it was now. But anyway, the book used the phrase divine feminine Christ, which really rubbed me the wrong way because again, this is gonna spur some disagreement, I'm sure. There are gonna be people out there who disagree with me, and that's fine. You are more than welcome to disagree with me. And if you can articulate yourself in a respectful manner, feel free to leave your disagreeing comments down below. However, don't be an asshat and don't leave nasty comments down below because I will delete them and block you. But I am open to a discussion about this. However, the phrase divine feminine Christ really pissed me off, because I don't feel like those two go hand in hand in any way. I don't feel like there's any way to put those two things together. Because if you are pagan and you follow a goddess-centric path or a divine feminine path, then you are free to pick and choose what parts of religion and what parts of different religions you want to put into your practice. Because on a pagan path, you make your own path. You make your own rules and you create your own spirituality. If you are Christian, you're really not allowed to do that. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, the Bible states, if you are Christian and you follow the Bible states, basically, in the 10 Commandments, you're not allowed to believe in anything else. Because if you even attempt to believe in anything else, you're going to burn in hell. You're going to burn in hell! So, they cannot go together. If you are pagan, you also probably don't necessarily relate to a Christian path or the Christian God. And I have never personally met, I'm not saying they don't exist, but I have never personally met a pagan who wanted to bring Christianity into their path. Most people turn to paganism because they disagree with the Christian path. They disagree with the Christian rigidity. They disagree with the Christian closed-mindedness. And that's what turns most people to paganism. And they don't tend to bring much, if any, of that Christian belief along with them. Again, not saying they don't exist, but in my personal experience, I've never met a pagan who wanted to bring Christianity into their practice or on their path. So the phrase, divine feminine Christ, it's like oil and water. It doesn't mix. It doesn't go together. And so, and this book seemed to be, the entire book, from what I read in the first few pages, it felt like the entire book was going to be based around that. As though it was a Christian book, but tweaking it so that Jesus was now female. So, I don't know. I have a problem with that, because if you are Christian and if you follow the Christian path, then Jesus was a man and the woman is evil. Women are evil and you're going to burn in hell. So there's no, I just don't see how the two can go together. And it annoyed the shit out of me. And the other thing that it got me thinking about was Christian witches. Again, if you disagree, fine. Feel free to have a discussion with me about this and enlighten me, because I don't see how there can be such a thing as Christian witches. Because if you are a witch, then you are able to pick and choose what path you follow and what parts of religion you bring in. Again, I don't know any witches, personally, I don't know any witches who bring Christianity to their practice or to their witchcraft or to their spiritual path. And I do know that witchcraft and spiritual path can diverge. And I know that, for example, in hoodoo, you are doing magic, but you are using the Bible and the saints in your magic, which that doesn't work for me. I practice a bit of hoodoo, but my hoodoo has no link whatsoever to Christianity. I don't use the Psalms. I don't use the saints. I don't use anything from the Bible in my dabblings with hoodoo. My hoodoo is strictly folk magic, and it is very pagan based. But I do know that as a rule, quite a few hoodoo practitioners use the Bible and the Psalms and the saints and I understand that there was a reason for that. And I'm not going to get into a whole discussion about hoodoo right now, but I do know where the origin of that started and why it was done that way. So, they did what they had to do. And so I understand why those things are intertwined in hoodoo. I don't personally follow that path. Having said all of that, if you're a witch, you pick and choose what you bring to your practice. If you are a Christian and following the Christian path, you're not allowed to do that. So, oh my God, it drives me up Because if you are Christian, you're not allowed to practice witchcraft. Because if you practice witchcraft, you're going to burn in hell. And you just can't mix the two. They just don't go together. If you are a Christian, you're not allowed to practice witchcraft. You can be, I'm not saying you can't be open-minded to other people's practice, but you as a Christian should not be practicing witchcraft because you are a Christian and the Bible explicitly says that's bad. And I know I go into this Southern Baptist voice, but that's what I was raised with, so that's kind of where I automatically go. Oh God, I'm gonna get so many hateful comments. But you get my point. The point is, if you're following the Bible says, can't practice witchcraft because witchcraft is evil. Witches worship the devil, witches have sex with the devil, witches invoke the devil. They are working with the devil. They are working for the devil. The devil is working through them. Like it's devil, 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 devil in witchcraft. I don't think there can be such a thing as Christian witches. So I just don't, maybe I just don't understand it. Maybe I just don't understand the concept because I disagree with it. So again, if you can have a rational conversation and enlighten me on this, I'm up for a discussion, but keep your nasty comments to yourself. I don't need all that crap. So the book just kind of sent me off on this whole thought process today about Christian witches and the divine Christian Christ, and oh God, it really pissed me off because as a pagan and as a witch, there is no room in my personal practice for anything Christian. Actually, Christianity repels me. So there's no way I would ever use a psalm or a Bible verse or a saint or an angel or Mary or any other Christian icon, for lack of a better word. I would not use anything from the Bible whatsoever in my practice. And I'm not saying that no one else can, because as a pagan, that is your path to choose. And that's the beauty of paganism, is that you are free to choose. You have that freedom. You have that choice. And you can make your path whatever you want it to be. And you can define your spirituality. And it's not going to look like any other pagan. And that's the beauty of paganism. That's not the case in Christianity. So even as a pagan, I don't see how the two connect. Because if as a pagan, you are using the Christian symbols just because that's what you're comfortable with, or you just don't resonate with any other symbolism, then as a pagan, that's your path to choose. However, as a Christian, that goes against everything the Bible says. And it doesn't matter which vine of Christianity you follow, they all say you're not allowed to worship anything else, not allowed to practice witchcraft, and there's only one God. There's no goddess. There's no other celestial being. You're not allowed to worship anything but that one God. So that's my rant for the day. Oh God, I'm gonna get so many hateful comments. Whatever. That's my personal opinion. That's how I feel about it. And it just drives me up a wall whenever I see things like that. So I wish I could reference the book. I'm so sorry. And I'm reading another one, the sample of another one right now that's just kind of rubbing me the wrong way as well. But I haven't read enough about that to do a tangent. So I'm not going to talk about that one. So if you have any suggestions for a really good feminine spirituality, female empowerment, I don't know, enlightening kind of book, let me know in the comments below and I will go check it out and download the sample if I can, and maybe give it a go. I'm leaning toward, oh my God, okay, so I have to tell you what happened. So I'm sure other people will see the ad as much as I do, but I have seen the ad for Gaia Codex, the book. I don't even know, probably 200 times in the last month and a half or so. It's always in my feed. I see it in my Facebook feed. I see it on, I think I see it on Pinterest. I see a lot of it on Facebook, Gaia Codex. And all this time, for like months now, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, I've been seeing the excerpts and just little snippets from the Gaia Codex. And every time I see it, I was like, oh yeah, that resonates. I get that. I like that. Oh yeah, I want to read that book. Because I thought it was just divine feminine spirituality. I thought it was nonfiction. I thought it was just a book about an idea and not necessarily teachings, but, you know, just insightful possibilities. And, you know, I just thought it was a spiritual book. I thought it was a nonfiction spiritual book. And that's why I was really interested in reading it. So I downloaded the sample and I'm reading it, and I get to, like, I start reading it and it starts out, I thought I had misunderstood and that it was a biography because, or excuse me, yeah, a biography or autobiography, whatever, because it starts out with a girl talking about herself and her childhood, and you're kind of following through her childhood. And even though some of it was far-fetched and quite a bit fantastical, I thought, okay, well, I just misunderstood. And then it gets to right to the point where I'm like, oh, it's going to take the turn now. The first few chapters that I read actually felt like a prelude or a prologue leading into the book. And then it was going to talk about, you know, those things shaped her ideas, and those things kind of helped develop her thought process in the Gaia Codex. And, you know, I thought that her childhood and her experiences led up to her enlightenment and her view and leading to the Gaia Codex. And so I'm reading and reading. I'm like, what the? I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. So afterwards, after I finished reading it, I then went and read the about, and it is just pure fiction. It's just a fucking novel. I was like, oh my God, this whole time, I thought it was just a spiritual reference book. My neighbors are yelling outside. There's a raccoon outside. Could you hear that? They're screaming about the raccoon. Anyway, so yeah, it's a novel. It's pure fiction. It's not a spiritual book. Although the excerpts that I've read, it could totally be one, and I'm still interested to read the book. The first few chapters were, I don't know, maybe because it wasn't what I had expected it to be. I thought it was more like a prologue. Maybe if I go back and read it knowing that it's a novel, it'll come across differently. So the first few chapters I was just kind of disconnected with and like, okay. Not that it was bad. It was good. It was an interesting read. It just, there was this slight disconnect, and I think it was because I thought it was one thing and it was actually something else. So, but I think I actually still want to go read it because all the little, and it's all through ads. That's how I keep seeing it on Facebook. But all the little ads are like little excerpts from it. And I think I might still want to read it. So that's in my list of possibilities for my morning read. So I don't know. If you are interested in joining along with the Not Book Club, then make sure you come over to Edie's Cosmic Gathering Place on Facebook, because I will have the conversation over there. We'll pick the book and make sure everybody has a copy of the book, and then we will discuss. It's not going to be like a real book club. Like, there's not going to be any structure. It's just going to be read at your own pace and share your thoughts as you read. So yeah, all the links for all that will be in the down bar below. Remember, if you like what I do here, don't forget to hit the little subscribe button and then to hit the little bell so that you get the notifications from YouTube, because Facebook is an asshat and they don't let you know when people have uploaded a video anymore. They don't share that shit. Even though I tell you, you don't see it. So hit the little bell, that way you get the notification directly from YouTube that I've uploaded a video. I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. And like I said, if you can have a rational discussion and enlighten me in some way, I am totally open to having that discussion and hearing your thoughts. But please be respectful, because if you are an asshat, I will delete your comment and block you. So leave comments down below and let me know. And tell me if you feel the same way. Do you disagree with the phrase Christian witch? How do you feel about that? Does it rub you the wrong way? What about the phrase divine Christian, oh boy, divine feminine Christ? Let me know how you feel about that phrase. What does that spark in you, and why? Why does it bother you, or why do you totally agree with it? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for being here. Remember, you are fierce, you are fabulous, and you are fucking badass. So keep that shit up, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!